guess so.
Or silently preparing, John.
I understand. I'll meditate now.
Whatever you guys say now can be heard on the YouTube side, just FYI. But I will broadcast at 7 o'clock to let the Zoom people, Zoom attendees in. But yes, we are live on the YouTube.
Kathleen, are you good for me on my side as far as starting there? You can see everything?
Yeah,
Yes.
everything's good. Tim, I'm gonna reclaim host. So Tim, at 7 o'clock, just take down the sign then.
Of course.
Thank you.
Kathleen, are you good for me on my side as far as starting there? You can see everything?
Yeah,
Yes.
Everything's good.
What's up, guys?
Hey Hector, so we're live on the YouTube side. I was just waiting till 7 before I let the students come into the Zoom webinar.
Yep, perfect.
And then Tim will take down the screen share, and then I'll, that usual, I'll spotlight you a few seconds in and so forth.
Perfect. Okay, we're at 7. I'm gonna stop the share, Kathleen. Is that good?
Sounds good. I'm gonna go ahead and broadcast to let the students in the room now. Okay, we have attendees slowly coming into the room. Hi, everyone. This is Kathleen. I'm here to make sure that Zoom is running smoothly for you. Thanks for taking the time to be with us. We already got a lot of people coming into the Zoom webinar / workshop. Appreciate you guys taking the time. Hope everyone is safe and well. As you guys see, there's already some people typing in the chat. That's awesome. So before I pass it off to our host this evening, Hector, if you guys see the chat right now, as you guys are typing, if you can do me a favor in the to field, please hit the drop down and select all panelists and attendees. Again, you want to pick all panelists and attendees so other attendees can see your messages. It helps connect any comments and questions you have answered by our panelists here. And wow, might be hitting some record numbers today, so that's really awesome. Let us know where you're joining from. The chat's going to be going pretty crazy. We have a lot of you with us, so you may have to repeat your comments and questions as we go along, and we'll try to tackle them as much as we can once we get started. So Hector, I will spotlight your video. And as usual, Hector, I'm about to start the recording, so a few seconds, and you're welcome to take it away.
Right. Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Hector Verduga. I'm the Senior Vice President of Admissions for Academy of Art University here in San Francisco, California, USA. I'm going to give us a little bit of time to let people trickle in. We have tons of people on right now. There's 200 and almost 250 students in climbing joining us. So thank you all so much. I do want to go ahead and get started by just pointing out the chat feature. So anybody that joined in the last few minutes, just make sure right below when you see that chat button, click on that chat button and then adjust who you're talking to all panelists and attendees. Unfortunately, we will not be able to hear you this evening, but we will be taking questions in the chat pod. I'll be in there facilitating, just making sure that I can get to all your questions and then hand them over here to the star of the show. So you're all joining Perspective Drawing using photos with Joko Budionio tonight. Today should be a lot of fun. I actually went through the test run last night and I was blown away by the artwork and what Joko's capable of showing us and doing. So this should be a hit. If you don't mind, let's see where everybody's from out there. Looks like we have Brazil in the house. We have China, Nihama, Lehoma. We have San Jose, California. We have Pasadena. Hello, Kyra from Baton Rouge is out there tonight. St. Thomas in the Islands is here. Canada with a lot of A's. Missouri, Victorville. I actually went to Victor Valley College for 1 year. Haha, Utah, LA, West Virginia, Missouri. Indonesia is in the house. The Bahamas, Temecula, Orange County. Chile, hola, Colorado, Dominican Republic, India. Baltimore, Maryland. Hey, Tanya in Arizona. Beatrice in España, how are you? San Diego's in the house. What's up, Ryan? Vietnam. Nice to see you all out there, man. We're like all over the globe this evening. So as people are participating and pouring in here, what I want to do, Antarctica's in the house. Thank you for showing up tonight. Awesome. So what I like to do is this: if you don't hold steady in the chat really quick, as always, what I want to do is make sure everybody knows what we have coming up this week. First thing is this: I'm going to send everybody the link to upcoming events here in the chat. So that page right there will show you all of the different online events that will be running for the month of August. Pay attention to the little button on the side. You can click it and it'll change the month to the next month and you can see what we have online. The two events that we have coming up is anybody out there that's looking to learn how to be an online student. If you've never taken courses online, if you're interested in being an online student with us, I can assure you our delivery is extremely unique and special and very different. But this Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we'll be running an online workshop on how to be an online student. We show examples of student work, progression, how everything works, how teachers give feedback. It's actually super cool. So check that out if you want to learn more about how to be an online student or just become more comfortable. The next thing that we have coming up, and I don't know if anybody out there likes sneakers, but I'm a huge sneaker guy. I have to admit I'm very guilty. So I'm super excited about next week, August 11th. It's called Behind the Lace, Introduction to Footwear Design. So if you all don't know, we have actually a footwear design program here at the university. So if you're into shoes, sneakers, how footwear is made, this is going to be a really cool workshop as well. So feel free to check those out and RSVP. So without further ado, tonight's workshop is going to be focused on perspective drawing using photos. So the star of the show here is a little bit about him. This is Joko Budionio. So he's actually an alumni of the Academy of Art University, and he does live in the Bay Area, but he was born in Indonesia. He grew up very fascinated with cartoons, developed a keen appreciation for visual arts. So upon his studies, he collaborated with Leandro Ning and Thomas Denmark to write and illustrate an artist manual in applying the mastery of principles and perspective called Creative Layout, Perspective for Artists. So Joko also had a follow-up book after that he helped write, The 1000th Thumbnail, and this continues the exploration of concept development and composition. So later then he wrote and illustrated 2 other books after that called Teddy 1 and Escape from Alcatraz, The Battle of 46. So now Joko spends his time freelancing, teaching, and really helping his students grow and to be more successful as artists. So without further ado, I'm going to be passing this over to Joko to run our workshop. I'm going to be here in the chat. I'll be your host tonight. So feel free to communicate with me, ask questions, whatever it is I can do to help you. And I'll pass this over to Joko and I'll see you all at the end of the workshop. Have fun, everybody.
Hi guys. So let me see. I'm gonna share my screen. Let's see. So there you go. All right. So I use Procreate. Sometimes I use Clip Art Studio. That's Manga Studio. Sometimes I use Photoshop. But most of the time I just use Procreate under in iPad basically. So if you guys can you guys see my face here? Now this is what I'm using.
Yeah, we can see you perfectly.
There you go. So basically I'm just using iPad and it's really, really easy, really convenient. I can actually just go anywhere. I know I can actually use a laptop and goes anywhere, but I still have to use either Wacom or Cintiq, but iPad is just really easy. Okay, so basically, I'm gonna do just a little bit lecture about perspective, just a little bit. Most of you probably know about this, but then we're gonna jump to the picture, okay? But right now, I'm just gonna do a little bit lecture. Yeah. So Hector, if somebody asks you about some kind of program, just shoot it to me, okay? So.
Will do.
So say, for example, we're just going to do 3-point perspective. So this is just a quick review of 3-point perspective, looking down, for example. So this is the horizon line, right on the top, all right? So this is right vanishing point, left vanishing point. This is the bottom vanishing point. Now imagine this is beautiful drawing, okay? Imagine really hard. So now your composition happens to be around the middle, say, right? Around the middle over here, either vertical or horizontal, it doesn't all matter. So basically, because the horizon above, you're looking down. So this goes to the right vanishing point, all right? Left vanishing point, and to the bottom vanishing point, right? To the bottom right over there. And this goes to the bottom. So most of you know about this. So this is really easy, really simple, right? There you go. And there you go, right? Now, the good thing about Procreate, the program that I use with iPad, you can lock that vanishing point. So most of you using Photoshop, the hard thing about Photoshop, you have to basically carefully draw this goes to the vanishing point. It's really difficult, especially if the vanishing point outside your box, right? There's no drawing assist. In Photoshop, maybe Shift key basically goes vertical and horizontal. Now in Procreate, you can lock that. So basically, and some of you already knew about this, but in Procreate, I'm going to just get rid of this. So we're just going to use this composition, okay? We'll take this, we're just going to make it bigger. I'm going to make it really small. I'm going to make it big. But again, okay, I know Photoshop don't have drawing assist, but Photoshop is really powerful. I'm not saying to get out of Photoshop. Photoshop is really powerful. A lot of things that I cannot do in Procreate, like if I blow this up like this, right? And it's going to basically crop the file. So my layer is actually smaller now. Photoshop is not like that. Photoshop is way more powerful. So I'm not telling you to move out of Photoshop. Photoshop is great. Manga Studio or Clip Art Studio, there's actually perspective assist like this. So you can actually use that. So say, for example, like this. And then what I do this. I go to a canvas, drawing guide. I turn it on, right? Edit drawing guide underneath it and change it to perspective. See the underneath, there's 2D, basically rectangles, square rectangles. Isometric, basically this kind of angle over here, that's isometric angle, right? So remember 2D, right? Isometric, and there's perspective. You switch to perspective, and then what you guys gonna do, the first dot that you're going to do is the horizon line, basically. And you put the horizon above, and then follow that grid, see? So I'm gonna change it to black, okay? So you guys can actually see the grid. Look at that. So you match it to your drawing. There, you match it to your drawing. And then what you want to do, you go to the left vanishing point, right, on the horizon line. You match it to your drawing again. This is going to be way closer, like that. I'm going to make it like different color of it, maybe black too, so you guys can actually see. There you go. And then there's one more vanishing point on the bottom. I'm just going to correct them. So it's, there you go. And then I'm going to make this one black also. By the way, you don't really have to make the line to be black. You can actually make it to be whatever color you want. Maybe that's easier. There you go. So my drawing is actually a little bit off. My sketch is a little bit off. It doesn't matter, right? Now you guys have this perspective grid. Now, Photoshop can do this too, but the difference between Photoshop and Procreate, you can lock here. So I'm going to make this one. I'm going to make this one a little bit lighter, right? I'm going to add another layer on the top, right? And then if I make a line on this drawing, see, I can be shaky, right? Really, really shaky. See, my line can be squiggly like that. But if I want to make it really, really precise line, I can. So I just have to do this. I'm going to make it to inking. Where are you inking? Inking is over there. So, and then I turn on the drawing assist. There you go. Now look at this. This is really cool. And it's going to be really, really good. It's really, really perfect. And it's going to lock to the perspective. So that's what's powerful about this. If you guys have iPad, this program Procreate costs you like $9.99, including the perspective assist. So there you go. And you can actually turn this off, basically, right? Now, if you don't want those grid, right? If you're doing it in Photoshop, you want those grid. But in Procreate, you don't really need that grid. If you can actually turn off that grid, right? As long as the drawing assist is still on, you can still do things, see, that going to the vanishing point. There you go. Just fix it just a little bit. There you go. And then erase it. Yes.
A student out there, Amir, had said that when he's creating his grid lines, my points always lock onto the horizon line. How can I turn off? How can I turn that off in Procreate?
His point always lock to the horizon line.
When creating grid lines, my points always lock onto the horizon line.
That's a little bit tricky question because the problem, Amir, the first dot that you put is going to be the horizon line. So the first dot is going to be the horizon, and the second dot that you do basically is horizon line also. It becomes 2 point basically. But you don't have to put the horizon line in the same place. So you can't get away to that. No matter what, it's going to go to the horizon line. So, but you don't really have to put the horizon line outside. I think maybe Amir thinking about this, maybe. Let me see. Let me go out to Drawing Assist, Edit Drawing Guide. I'm going to turn it on, Edit Drawing Guide. So no matter what, Amir, that vanishing point is going to stuck on the horizon line. There's nothing you can do, right? But you can move that vanishing point. So if I grab that vanishing point, I can actually move it anywhere, basically. So, but you're stuck with the vanishing point goes to the horizon line. If he can actually type me more question, if that's what he meant by it, because yeah, he's stuck with the horizon line going to be on the vanishing point on the horizon. Okay, so now imagine instead of line, you treat this as value. So you got this one, right? So I'm just gonna get rid of this drawing over here. I delete it, and I'm going to just get rid of, add another one over here and put a gray in the background, right? Or maybe middle gray. There you go. So I can actually put this one on the top of it, right? Okay, now think about it not as a line anymore, but think about it as a value, okay? So the problem with perspective, especially environment painting, you want to start with a line. No, you don't. You don't really have to start with a line. You can actually start with value, with shape, right? So in perspective already. So how do you do that? Okay, so this is the same drawing, right? I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna add another one, right? And I'm gonna turn on the drawing assist, right? Okay, so, but change the brush to painting. Okay, change the brush to painting. So this time I'm gonna use painting, all right? And then I'm gonna make it just a little bit darker. Right, and then look at that. So if I turn off the drawing assist, if the drawing assist is off, I can do that, right? But if the drawing assist is on, it's going to go to some kind of vanishing point. So I'm gonna treat this one, maybe I'm gonna make it a little bit lighter. Curve, so I'm gonna make it a little bit lighter over here. Actually, maybe way lighter. There you go, all right? Maybe that's the top part. Right, and then go back to the brush and just select this one. So, but I turn on the drawing assist. So this line is going to go to the vanishing point. All right. Now imagine if it's a box. Imagine if it's this guy over here. Right. So remember the top part is going to be lighter. So I just do that. Okay. So I'm just going to paint the top part. Goes to the left, goes to the right. There you go. See, now if you want to clean it up, I don't like the edges, right? If you want to clean it up, you go to the eraser, right? But the eraser flat also, or painting also, flat brush also, and then you just erase it and you can actually have it clean. See, you don't really need line drawing. So imagine when you guys painting, you don't really need to do the drawing first. You can actually jump to the painting, jump to the shape. Especially if you're a value person instead of your line person. So say I'm gonna take this value, I'm gonna take it to a little bit darker. The problem is, how do I make it really, really precise? I can actually go to another layers if I want to. I don't really have to, but I can actually go to another layers underneath it, drawing assist over here, and do the same thing, but this time it's actually going down. Now, because this is underneath it, you're good, see? Okay, so you can actually treat it like that. All right, there you go. And then like this, like this. I cannot make it clean. I can actually erase it later. Eraser over here. I'm gonna erase it until here, so I don't have to deal with that corner over there, and so on and so forth. You go to the next size, right? So I go to the other side over here, plus drawing assist over here, and then maybe a little bit darker for this one over here. So just a little bit lecture about this, and then we're gonna go to the actual photo, okay? What to do with the photo, so on and so forth. There you go. If you don't like the value, you can actually adjust the value, curve, right? Maybe a little bit lighter over here. Maybe quite a lot lighter. Maybe like that, for example, right? Maybe ambient light, so there's no cast shadow, but I got this one over here, and then I can actually flatten the whole thing. Select that, right? Drawing assist still on, make it a little bit lighter. Usually the edges is gonna cast a little bit lighter value right there. That goes to the vanishing point. Let me see what's wrong. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. A little bit like this, a little bit like this, and this is a little bit like that. Maybe this value just a little bit too light over here. And I got it. I got my box basically. So you guys don't really have to do this first. You can jump to this if you want to. All right. So now I'm gonna continue. Okay. So what is that got to do with anything? So you can actually set up the perspective now. You can actually jump to the painting. So instead of line, you can actually just jump to the painting, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go to gallery. All right, so say, I'm gonna just show you samples first before I start, okay? So basically, there you go. I'm just gonna expand this composition, right? So sorry guys, there you go. So this is a picture that I took in Denver. Now imagine, okay, if I turn on the drawing assist, now I already set up the drawing assist. The vanishing point, right? One of them is right in front of me, right there, right? That's one of the vanishing point. See, right in front. That street goes to right in front. That's the vanishing point, right? See that grid over here goes to the street right in front. And then because a lot more sky, a lot more above the horizon, and actually looking up a little bit. So that building is tilted a little bit. So there's a vanishing point far, far away above. So basically, if I look at this, the vanishing point is like this, really far up, really, really far up. Oops, there you go. All right. And then there's a right vanishing point, really, really far. Now, how do I do that? See, basically, I just follow that building, goes to the right, far, far away on the right, there's a vanishing point, right? Now, once we set this up, you're really, really good, right? Done, right? I'm gonna turn that off so we don't see it, okay? Now, what you wanna do, basically, I take this, I just color pick. Color pick is this, right? This is painting. Color pick is in Photoshop looks like this. I'm gonna put another layer over here. Most of you know color pick. Basically something like this, and then there's there you go, something like that, right? Like this. Color pick, if I can remember correctly, it looks like that. So you color pick the sky. Basically, you color pick the floor, and then you turn on the drawing assist and extend. So I'm gonna play it, okay? So look at this. So you take this. There you go, that's it. And because the drawing assist, I turn it on, is always follow the perspective, right? There you go. Basically, I just color pick the street, I color pick the sky, so on and so forth, right? So basically that's it, right? So it's really, really simple, right? Once you know how to set up the perspective, once you understand the perspective, you just set it up, you lock it, and any brush that you put is gonna go to that vanishing point. So that's the easy part. Okay, we're gonna go somewhere else over here. Okay, something like this. So this is Alcatraz. The end part of Alcatraz, there's actually a building like this. So I took a picture of this, and then I want to change it to anything I want, right? Basically, this is 2-point perspective. So if I turn on the drawing assist over here, we can actually see. All right. There you go. There's a vanishing point right here, right? See, for that wall. And there's a vanishing point far, far away on the right for the right wall. And the rest of them is just straight up and down. All right. Done. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. There you go. So I'm going to play this, okay? And then what I do, I just color picked it and turn on the drawing assist. There you go. So how do I get the color of that wall? Basically, I already have it. I just color picked it. I drop it. There you go. I drop, basically. And then I took a picture, I found an internet picture of Shibuya, Tokyo, and then I just paint this. You know, I just color pick, right? So this is not photo bashing, okay? Photo bashing, you take the texture of something and you bash it. It's the same perspective in photo bashing. This one, you're using your own photo, right? And the references, you color pick the references, right? So it's completely different than photo bashing. There you go. Now, trust me, if you zoom in, it doesn't look good. See, it doesn't look good. It's just indication of paint, indication of shape, and that's about it. That's what you want to do. So it's really, really quick to do this. See? So how do I know the shape of this? I always look at references, but it's not in the same perspective. I recreate that perspective, images in different perspective, basically. See, as long as the perspective is correct, you can actually extend stuff, change it, right? And it's gonna go back to the original picture. You'll see from here. Now the original picture is, again, this one. See, so the original picture is over here, and then that's the result, right? So you're just borrowing the perspective, maybe the temperature, right? Sometimes I completely change the temperature. Sometimes it's the same. Like this is pretty much the same temperature. I don't change the lighting. The lighting is pretty much the same. Overcast, right? So you can actually change the lighting if you want to, but perspective is not going to be a problem anymore, right? Because you have this ability now to do this. All right, so we're gonna go over here. This one is actually the place, the picture of what's his name? Who's the guy that create the electricity? Not Tesla, the other guy, the Edison building in LA. So this is Edison building in LA. So I took a picture of Edison building. I look up and I took a picture, right? This is the ceiling of Edison building, all right? Now, if you guys think about it, as long as you got the perspective, you guys can do this. Look at this. I take this. If I turn it upside down, that's looking down, right? So basically, if you have your camera, you walk around, you take a picture of a building, you can actually use the perspective of that building, but it's not necessarily right side up. You can actually use it upside down. So whatever that ceiling become the floor, okay? So I'm gonna do this, okay? I'm gonna turn it upside down, right? So the perspective is done, right? It's already there, and I'm gonna time lapse it. Look at that. I just, I drop it and I just paint. See, that's it, that's it. How come I can actually get that perspective? Because the perspective is always locked, basically. Right? And this is just layer adjustment, darken it, lighten it, right? There, and the floor, I make it like water, so I just continue the reflection of the pillar, and I put the characters over here of a big giant sculpture of Anubis. I want to do Egypt, and that's it. Right? So the original, it's looking up, but you can turn it upside down, it becomes looking down, right? Now, do you have to figure out the color? No, 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 you already have the color from the beginning, from the get-go. Can you change the color? Yes. Can you change the perspective? No, perspective is already been done, right? You lock the perspective, so that's the key. The perspective is already there. Perspective is already there, it's from the picture. All you need to think about is actually your composition. Is it looking up, looking down? You want to turn upside down or not, right? So I'm going to fast forward this one, okay? Because I need to do a demo after this. There you go. Now I just have to paint, 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 paint. Now, again, the original is there. That's the original. See, I didn't change the color whatsoever. I actually borrow the color, right? Now, can you completely change the color? Yeah, you can completely change the color if you want to. So, Hector, are you still there? Are you okay? Hector?
Yeah, I'm right here. Sorry, I was on mute. Yep.
Okay, okay, good, good, good. Okay, so there you go. So basically, for this picture, I want to change everything. The color. I'm going to borrow the perspective. I'm going to borrow her, my wife, right? Just for the composition, but I'm going to put the focal point on the window. So I extend the composition, all right? So it was like a train vacation. So basically we're stuck in the train for several days. So, hey, I have my iPad, I take a picture, I begin to paint basically, right? Okay, so we got this paint. I shrink it down a little bit. Remember, I'm going to put the focal point right there, right? Like inside of a third, right? The big third. So I'm gonna do. Now before, I always copy the color of the environment, but this time I'm going to just use the computer color. So if you're confused what color to use, just choose one object. I'm gonna use that laptop color to do the whole thing. Okay, so light and shadow is that laptop color. Okay, so here. And how about the perspective? The perspective is already there, so don't worry about the perspective. So there you go. So first, I just basically turn on the drawing assist, right? And just continue, fill it up. But then after I got, see, the composition is different. Basically, I'm making a hole, right? Inside of that hole is gonna be the focal point, right? And then I like the color of the laptop. I'm gonna make that laptop to be the color of everything inside, basically. There you go, putting the focal point. The focal point is over there. I'm gonna fast forward just a little bit because it's pretty long. There you go. So I just turn on the drawing assist. Now, how do I get the color of that seat? It's from the laptop. I just borrow the color of the laptop, the light and shadow of the laptop. Just use that basically. There you go. all of this in the bottom left is the laptop color, basically. So trust that it's already there. You don't have to calculate the color anymore. It's already there. If you don't know how cool or how warm the shadow going to be, it's already in your picture. Just select that and that's it. All right, there you go. So fast forwarded. See, so how about the perspective? It's already there, guys. The perspective is locked, right? Except if when I try to copy, when I'm trying to paint her or part of the robot, I turn it off, so it's not going to the vanishing point, but most of the time I just turn it on. Okay. There you go, somebody in the foreground, more distance by putting people smaller in the background over there, so it's really, really far, right? So think about it, okay? You already have the perspective. You already have the perspective. You don't have to figure out the perspective anymore. Just lock that perspective and you're good. There you go. I'm gonna fast forward just a little bit more. And then touch up, right? Here and there, a little thing. And the original picture was this. That's it, okay? So there you go. I'm gonna go to, now, if you think about it, right, that you can actually change the temperature a lot, right? So I'm gonna see, how about this? I'm gonna show you one more sample. You know what? I'll show you which samples. There's two over here. There's this one, right? And this is the same, but I'm gonna turn it upside down. Okay, this is right side up, and this is upside down. This is the same picture, right? You don't really have to use it right side up. So in here, it's the same thing, right? Basically, turn on the drawing assist. I basically put a floor, right? That's it. Because the drawing assist is on, it's always gonna follow the perspective. There you go. I got a room looking down at the room. I make a hole, change the temperature, put the focal point right over there, put the robot, put somebody over there, make a texture. Now this is the same as the Photoshop. It's the same. You just use Shift key, so straight up and down, left and right, and then you just distort it and put it on the wall. That's it. All right. So I got this. It's the same thing. Distort it, put it on the wall. See? There you go. And the original is this. Now this is the same picture, okay? This is the same picture. It's the same exact picture, but right side up. And then, see, it's the same thing. Like that. This time I'm looking at the ceiling, the same, right? I decide that I don't want to put the focal point over there. I just change my mind and put the focal point over there. There you go. See? So perspective is, it's once you understand it, you set up the perspective, you just continue that. It's not going to be hard whatsoever. Put Zeus over there. There you go. And trust me, okay, if you zoom in, it doesn't look good here. If I zoom in, look at that, right? Well, that's the idea though. It's just a quick a concept art and that's it. It's not finished whatsoever. You can actually finish it, but it's not finished. Okay, so that's, I'll show you more samples over here. One of them is Hulk and Spider-Man over here later on at the end, but I just want to start right now. If you have question, guys, just ask me question, okay? So I'm gonna try to find something that I haven't used yet. I have not used this one over here. There you go, right? Basically, this is inside Alcatraz. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set it up so you guys know how to set it up, okay? So we got this. So the first thing that I do is actually go to that range, right? And then you go to canvas and you turn on the drawing guide like that, edit drawing guide, and you go to perspective, right? The first dot that you're going to do is going to be the vanishing point on the horizon. And so I'm going to put it right over here. There you go, right? I'm going to make it black, so you guys can actually see it. It's hard to see right now. All right, there you go. And then now what you guys want to do, look at this light, right? This light goes to some kind of dot, and it's going to be right here, around right here. And I'm trying to make this one matching that light and matching that ceiling, and looks like it's lower passing those heads. Now, how come I know passing those heads? Basically, I took a picture of this, right? When I took a picture, the camera is actually in front of my face, and I'm the same height as that lady in the back there. So that's how I know the horizon line is actually there, right? Your horizon line, always your camera, always going to be your camera, right? There you go. I got one of the vanishing point. Now, the other vanishing point, now the one that goes up and down is straight up and up. The other vanishing point is, see this ceiling over here? It goes down a little bit, far, far away. I'm going to put it right over here first, but I'm going to pull it. You know, I'm going to put it white so we can actually see. There you go. Until matching the ceiling over here. Almost there. Now, if you guys have this one off a little bit, it's okay. Don't worry about it, okay? As long as you don't do it off a lot, it's fine. Now, how come I'm not matching it to the shadow? Because, you know, the sun is not going to be, it's going to be different perspective. It's going to be parallel, but it's not going to be the same perspective as the room. So I have to match it against that ceiling. Actually, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. There you go. So basically, this is a regular 2-point perspective. I'm going to make it like this. There you go. You know what? I'm going to make it a little bit harder for myself, okay? Basically, this is good, right? This is good. But I'm going to do this. Instead of I'm going to use it like this or upside down, because it's basically the same, right? I'm going to do it like this. There. I'm going to do it like this. So we're looking down at the, I don't know, maybe city, maybe. So I can still see the horizon. Now the horizon is going horizontal, passing that dot, right? I can still see the sky, but then I'm looking down at the city. But this is a little bit boring, so I'm going to angle it, okay? So in order to do that, I'm going to do this, okay? Now bear with me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put done, right? But then I'm going to go to the picture. I don't want the picture to be straight like this. I'm going to make it really wonky. I take this one over here, and then I rotate it just a little bit like that, and smaller. So it's still cool, but it's angled like this, right? It's like a banking like this. Okay, so I got this one over here, but then the perspective is out of whack. The perspective is wrong. So what do you do with the perspective? We'll fix the perspective. We got this one over here, done. How to set this one to set, but then I go to the perspective, drawing assist again, right?
Hey, Joko.
Yes.
Hey, this is you know, because we have some people that maybe haven't taken perspective drawings or anything yet. So can you give a quick just 101 of how are you identifying the vanishing points?
Good. Okay. Yeah, sure. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cancel this, and I'm going to turn off that drawing assist. That's a really good question. So basically, I'm going to turn this off so it's not too confusing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this. Okay, I'm going to go another layer. That's a really good question. I'm going to just use red so we can actually see where's that vanishing point going. Okay, so what I'm going to do, see that room, the base of that room. There you go. I'm going to make it a little bit thicker just in case you guys can't see. There, the base of that room. It's locked. Like that. And then this. And sometimes the problem is this. Sometimes, especially Alcatraz, that building is really old. Sometimes it's really, really wonky and it's not going to the same dot. But most of the time, if it's a new building and if it's really square, it goes to the same vanishing point. Look at that. All of this goes to a certain vanishing point. There you go. There's not much on this except this column over here. Yeah, the end of this column to the end of this column. Look at that. Isn't that cool? It's really, really awesome. Now, the problem with the sticker on the floor is actually not parallel with the room. Yeah, so I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to trust the wall, right? So at least one of the vanishing point is over there. So I'm going to use blue now for the other vanishing point, right? So that's really good question, because that's now if you guys understand this, that's really good. If you guys don't understand this, don't worry, because it took the whole semester to study this. There you go. See? And I think I do have to use the sticker, but I just don't trust that sticker angle though. But look at this. This is going to, so they're going to meet eventually on the left. So there's a right vanishing point, which is the red one, and the left vanishing point, which is the blue one, far away outside. Hopefully that's understandable for you guys. And the one that goes up and down, just straight up and down. Okay, so just ask me more if you guys have questions. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I take this, I'll go back to the drawing guide over here, right? Edit drawing guide. All I need to do, right? Just pull this vanishing point, because I have moved the picture. I pull it right over here. See, now if I get it a little bit off, it's okay. Just don't put it right over here. That would be terrible. But this is fine. I think that's fine. If I missed it a little bit, it's okay. Now this one over here is going to be going down until matching the blue. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Whatever that blue and that white is pretty much going to the same dot, and I'll be fine. Yeah, a little bit down a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm good. See that blue and that white line, see? There, it goes to the same dot. That blue with that white line, it goes to the same dot. I think I'm good. Oops, no, I'm not good.
I know we'll get to this later, but there was definitely some questions about lighting and shadowing and really how to plot that. And I know I'm sure we'll get to that stuff a little bit later.
Yeah, lighting and shadowing, that's a little bit different. There's a little bit lighting and shadowing over here. I'm gonna set this up over here before I forget. So I'm gonna turn this off. So remember, okay, the red and the blue is the environment, right? The red and the blue in the environment. Now, lighting is a little bit tricky, especially in perspective, but it's not really hard, but it's a little bit tricky. So the red and the blue is the environment, but the lighting, as long as this, see this cast shadow is an angle, right? It's not the same as the blue. The cast shadow, that pillar is actually a different angle than the blue. As long as that cast shadow going or coming from the same dot on the horizon line. So horizon is over here. There's a thin blue line over here. As long as that shadow, I'm gonna make it a different color over here so you guys don't get confused. Here, I'm gonna make it like green. Okay, so I'm gonna take this cast shadow over here, whatever the pillar cast shadow, right? Completely different than the blue, right? As long as this green line over here going to this horizon line, going to one dot on that horizon line on this line over here, that's the place where the cast shadow going to be from or to. What does that mean? The cast shadow of this pillar over here is going to be coming or from the same dot right over there also. And the cast shadow of this one over here is going to come from the same dot on that horizon line also. Hopefully that's understandable, but there's more, but that's basically the crash course, just a little bit. We'll go there, okay? We're gonna go to form first, form shadow, and then we're gonna go to cast shadow. Cast shadow is a little bit tricky, but form shadow is easy. Okay, so I don't think I need this one anymore. I'm gonna just get rid of this. All right. So we got this one, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn the perspective drawing off, like that, and then I'm just gonna start painting. I'm gonna put it on the top. I turn on the drawing assist, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna duplicate this, right? The original, duplicate it. I'm just gonna put it underneath that one over there. Why? Because I'm just gonna flatten that image in order to make it easier for if I want to change the color, if I want to change the value. So I'm just going to do it one layer right now, and that's it. Okay, goes on the top. All right, but this time I'm not going to use it like this. I'm not going to use it like this. I'm going to use it like this. we call this 2-point vertical. So it's 2-point perspective, but vertical, not horizontal. Okay, all right. So now the first thing that I do, I can look at references right now, but it's gonna hinder me. I just don't wanna look at reference right now. I'm just gonna expand, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I go to painting, right? That's painting. Basically, Nucorol is like chalk brush, a little bit texture. It's just a little bit easier for me. You guys can actually use whatever brush you want, especially for Photoshop. And then I'm gonna pick, this is a, I drop this one over here, and then I pick that one, and I just turn on drawing assist and just continue this thing. There you go. Even this darker one over here, I can do this. There you go. Now, right now, just use big brush. Don't worry about it. Use big brush. That one. Oh, actually, there's a column over here. Oh, it doesn't matter. This one is going to be over here, and this one over here. Just color pick over here. Oops, that's too light. Maybe sometimes I color pick something that really too light. There you go. Goes like that. See, right now it's just, it does not matter. Okay, if you make mistake, who cares? It doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. Right now, you're just expanding things. I don't think I'm going to use the actual drawing over here, but I'm just expanding things, so I don't have to think about it anymore. There you go. Close this one over here, and this one over here. I'm just gonna make it, instead of column, I'm just gonna make it a wall. Make it a wall over here. Goes this way. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. It doesn't matter because it's too late. I did it already. See, doesn't matter. There you go. Look at that. I have something like that, and it doesn't all matter, right? But I'm gonna use it like this anyway. All right. Okay. So once I get this, okay. Now I can do the shape first. I can actually do the temperature first. It doesn't all matter. Which is up to you guys. I'm going to do, what do I want to do? I'm gonna flatten it. See, I still have this original. So on this guy over here, I'm gonna turn this up. On this guy over here, I can just flatten it. It doesn't matter. To paint one layer is way faster with multiple layers, and later on, if you want to separate it, that's fine. Right now, I'm just gonna do one layer over here. Okay, now, so once I get this, what can we do? How about this? How about, I'm gonna do color pick again. See that back side over there, right? And then the drawing assist, oops, I'm gonna turn on the drawing assist. All right, and I turn it on. I'm gonna check the perspective, okay? Let me see the perspective again. Is the perspective right? Yeah, the perspective is right. There you go. There you go. See, that can be a building. See? And I got the sky, that can be a building. Maybe this is far, right? In the back over there. And maybe this is a closer building right over here. And remember, this is gonna be the sky because the horizon line now is actually going across, right? So I'm gonna do this, okay? I'm gonna put the horizon line right now. The horizon line is going to be another one over here. Maybe put red, inking. Where are you inking? There you go. And then drawing assist. So the vanishing point like this one, right? This one and this one, and then the horizon is basically like that. And your horizon and our horizon is actually like this now. There. See? So imagine that this is a bunch of building, right? It's banking a little bit. Imagine your airplane, you go in between. This is going to be Star Wars. This is in between the wall on the left and the right. See, you don't really have to think about perspective at all. It's already in your picture. You don't have to figure it out. You match the picture, trust your picture, and that's it. Don't change it. But the rest of them is a little bit hard. The painting part is a little bit hard. So I take this one over here for guidance, right? And then basically, okay, should I change the temperature right now? Maybe I should change the temperature right now. Now, before I change the temperature, I do this, okay? What I'm going to do, I'm just gonna go to internet. So the good thing about Procreate, you can actually split screen like this and put it, oops. Take this and I'm gonna put it on the, maybe on the left, on the right. I'm left-handed, I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna put it on the right over here. There you go. So put a bunch of references on your other side, basically, while you're painting. Now, can you basically color pick that? No, because this different program. This is Pinterest, right? In order to color pick, you have to basically take a picture and put it to your program, which is Procreate. So I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to look at the city references because I'm going to do city. And instead of looking at the detail of the city, no, just see color, which color that you want. You can see the detail, but right now I want to do nighttime instead of daytime. Look at that nighttime. Look at that too. That is so cool. Look at this color, right? So think about those kind of things. Right now, it's not a city. It's definitely not a city, the drawing on the left. Our drawing is not a city, but I want that temperature, for example, right? So think about it like that. Instead of thinking about detail, no, think about overall first. Ooh, this is really cool, right? Maybe like that, just simple, monochromatic, maybe. Let me find something cool. I love this one. I don't want to do it like a classical Victorian French city. I want it like city, contemporary, maybe even sci-fi, but I like that color, right? So what do? You can actually copy that color if you want. So the easiest way, instead of matching color, I can match color, but it's going to be too difficult. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this. I'm just make it bigger, right? Just take a picture. There you go. And then once you get that, you go back to this one over here. Now, the good thing about Procreate, you just have to add, insert a photo. The photo should be already there. There you go, right? Now, I'm not going to make it big because you're not going to have a lot of space. I just need it for the color anyway. There you go. The color that I want is this, but the subject matter is not that, right? Okay, I got this one over here. Oops. Okay, so if I put it in the file over here, I can just eyedrop it now. I can just eyedrop the color that I want. See, it makes it really, really easy. So the first thing that I do, I just go to the file, which is this guy over here, right? And then, okay, I do curves maybe. Let me see, hue, saturation. Which one is the easiest way to do this? How about we go to, maybe we do curves first to make it darker first. Just a little bit darker. All right. And then after we do curves, we go to hue, saturation. I can do monochromatic. Maybe that's better if I do monochromatic. I'm just going to do hue, saturation first. If it doesn't match, don't worry about it. Ooh, there you go. But then the value has to be a little bit darker. So hopefully you guys understands this, right? It's like a little bit, and then the value. See? So try not to get bogged down by the detail. What is that detail looks like? No. Just overall first. Shape, color. I got the shape. Now I'm just going to do the color, and then we do the detail after that. Okay. Can you do the detail first? Yeah, but that's line drawing. This is way faster in line drawing. Okay, so we got this one over here. There's another way to do this actually. How about we do another layer on the top, and then make that layer to be color. Maybe that's better, huh? We put color. Where are you, color? Color is this one over here. And then choose the color of this. That's really saturated. And painting. And then, oh, that's too much, right? I'm gonna do it anyway. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just do it anyway. And all of those accident, I'm gonna leave it. I'm just gonna make it Gaussian blur just to spread it all over the place, and that's it. There you go. Ah, this looks terrible, right? It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Okay. You take this one over here, make the saturation just a little bit less. See, it's still okay. All right. Okay. So we got this, and basically I make this one 1. So all of this 1, right? I got the color. I copy the color, right? Okay. And then the sky is going to be like that, and there's yellowish in the bottom and orange in the middle. About okay. Now I'm gonna. What's the next thing to do? How about this? We can do several things over here. I want to make. I think what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a hole underneath. Now, I can paint this floor, right, to be yellowish or orangish in the bottom over here, like the street, right, that goes to that vanishing point. But instead of doing that, I'm going to make the building to be the foreground, and the background is going to be the street. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this. I'm going to add another layer, and then I'm going to fill that layer with this value over here. And we cannot see it because it's underneath it. So if I turn this off, you can see it, right? Okay, and then I go back to this, and I get the eraser, and drawing assist still on. And then I think I'm safe enough not to use this one anymore, right? And the drawing assist is on. So this is always going to go to perspective, and I begin to erase. Now, how come I don't do this, right? Because it doesn't look good. If I make it so close like this, I'm going to think about, okay, I have to make this one beautiful. No. I just do it small like this. When I do it small like this, I just see overall. When I see it overall, I don't get bogged down with the detail. It goes over there, right? So the street in the bottom over here, maybe this is park in the bottom. So the street is actually like that, like that. So the building on the right side is closer. The building on the left side is further. Look at that, see? So there's 2 streets. One street is over here. The other street is on the other side. How do I know this? I don't. I'll look at references. Basically, I just remember this, right? I just remember that, right? But now it's open, basically. I want to make it sci-fi. Look at that. See, so far so good, right? It's not that hard, right? As long as you guys don't get bogged down to the detail, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Now, how come I erase this instead of I paint that orange? Why? Because I like to make the foreground to be in the top and the background to be underneath, and that's it, right? It's up to you. Sometimes I just paint everything one layer. It doesn't all matter, whichever you guys want, okay? So I got this, right? So there you go. And I begin to do this, okay? I get this one. Maybe like that. I'm gonna make it nighttime. I'm gonna do this, okay? I'll take this one over here. Sky is actually way darker. So lasso, just lasso this. So don't worry, it's not gonna look good. Don't worry about it. So I lasso everything on the one that you can touch, basically, like the building. I lasso, and this is the opposite. This is the negative space of that. There you go. So the sky, basically, the one that I cannot touch is the one that I select, right? So I can cut and paste or just erase it, okay? I delete it, okay? So I'm gonna cut it, I'm gonna delete it. Cut. Okay, that doesn't look good, right? Because the light I want it from the floor. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put another layer between this one and this one, like that. And then this is going to be the sky. Sky is gonna be above the horizon, so above that red line. There you go. And fill up with whatever you want. So I'm gonna look at my references again. My references looks like that. I'm gonna just pick this one over here. See, you don't really have to think about it anymore. There you go. Now, if you don't like it, change your mind, okay? Oh, that doesn't look good. Change your mind. I'm gonna change my mind right now. Take this, and then whatever it is, right? I'm gonna turn this off. That doesn't look good at all, right? So I'm gonna go curve. Maybe I'm gonna make it really, really nighttime. So I take this one over here. Like really, really nighttime. Look at that. You just create nighttime. Maybe like that. I'm going to desaturate this a little bit. There you go. There you go. So I don't think I need this one for now. See? So try to be like, I try to be disciplined not to zoom in too much, because if you zoom in, there's a lady there, right? There's another lady over there. There's a guy over there, right? And we cannot help it. We're trying to fix a lot of things. But if you look at it like small like this, it's the same thing as you basically step away from your painting. It's the same thing. Basically, do it small. When you do it small, you don't really get bogged down by the detail too much, and you'll be fine. All right. So I got this one over here. What else? I probably need references now. Now the references, I got overall. Now the references may be a little bit references of detail. I need those. So I do the same thing. Oops, come on, there you go. Take this, put it on the other side. So city, what kind of detail, what kind of sci-fi, or maybe contemporary, maybe this is a regular city over here. The best photo reference actually a regular photo, not somebody else's artwork. Why? Because it's still pure and you're the one that going to make your own basically. So let's see, that is kind of cool. So sometimes I just look at references because it's nighttime, right? Sometimes I just look at references like that. Just look at this. This is really cool. See, hot from the bottom and goes to the top is getting darker and darker and darker. But I'm just going to use my color, but the reference is like that. The problem is nighttime is spottiness. So basically just concentrate all the light on the street and it'll be fine. It's not gonna be too spotty. See, it's like that. The light coming from the street goes up. Yes, the top of Chrysler building is going to be Empire State is gonna be light, but most of the light is gonna be coming from the street. Look at this, this is so cool. See, it's almost like a checker, white checker. So the top of the building is dark, right? Some buildings gonna be light on the top, but most of the time the top of the building is dark. So think about it like that. And gradually the light is gonna get dimmer, goes to the top. So, okay, so I think we get some, but let me get, see, you do this after you get the composition, okay? You don't do this from the get-go, from the beginning. It seems unprepared, but it's actually better. So you don't get stuck, right? The problem is if you already have detailed references, you get stuck. You don't know how to start because you get stuck in the detail. But like here, I already have it. I already have it. I just have to find the detail, what kind of detail that I want. That's kind of cool too. Maybe I want to do it sci-fi-ish. I don't know. I still don't know what I'm going to do. And the good thing about this, you can change your mind because basically we got it already. We just have to spend some time to finish this. I'm going to use this. Let me see. Where's that one? Look at this. Like that, okay? The light coming from the street and gradually goes to the top. It's going to get darker. Which building do you want? Huh, I lost it. I saw it before. I lost it. It has to be nighttime. I want closer than that. You know, I'm going to use this one. I just can't find the one that I liked before, but I'm just going to use this one over here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to just extend this. I'll do the same thing. Just take a picture. There you go. And then Procreate over here. Open the picture. Photo. There you go. There you go. And you don't have to blow it up, okay? You don't have to blow it up because you have to kind of zoom in now a little bit. So there you go. Okay, I'm gonna put it right over here. All right, so we got this one over here. I'm going to put on top of which layers? Put this one above over here so I don't get confused. Plus, okay, and turn on the drawing assist, lock, right? Now I'm gonna zoom into this, see? So basically, if you think about it, just remember the lightest part is the street and goes up, it's gonna get dimmer, dimmer, dimmer. Yes, there's a lot of contrast on the top, but you don't wanna make it too much because it's gonna be spotty. So remember the hot one is actually underneath and gradually goes up, okay? It can be horizontal like this, the window, it can be vertical, okay? So see this one over here, this street is lighter and gradually goes up, it's gonna get dimmer. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I take, I'm gonna move it just a little bit over here. And then go back to this one over here. The drawing is still on. Now, because it's still close to the floor, am I doing this one different? Yeah, still close to the floor over here. I basically borrow this thing over here, all right? And then basically, because the drawing assist is on, there, see that line? Because the drawing assist is on, it's gonna be like that, all right? There you go, all right? Can I make it bigger? Yep. You can make it bigger. There you go. The light coming from the street goes up, basically, like that. Now, you can actually go this way too, and goes to the vanishing point too. So you can actually do something like this. That goes to the vanishing point. But that doesn't look good, right? What do? You smudge, and then this is gonna go, oops, the drawing is still on. Yep, there you go. And gradually gonna disappear. But how about individual window? You go to eraser and then you erase it. And because the drawing assist is on, look at that. You guys good? Sorry, you guys can't answer. That's all right. There you go. Okay, that's it. That's an indication. Whatever you do, don't start doing door, windows, do overall. Even like this, oh, I don't like that. The building next to it, I don't really like it. What I do, I just do this and I just get rid of it. Right, and then I use that eraser, and then because the drawing assist is on, I can actually do like this. Yeah, maybe bigger. And then goes to the top, disappear, disappear, disappear. Can I do this? Yeah, basically. There. Now, do you do more detail? Maybe not. Just leave it alone like that, right? Now I kind of get the idea, and I can actually just turn this off, right? That's a little bit too much, so I'm going to introduce different color now. Remember the references, color references over here. I'm gonna do maybe a little bit warm over here, maybe the back side a little bit warm. So I'm gonna take this one, turn this one off again. See, whatever you do, don't go close. If you go close, you begin to do the detail. So basically, I'm just gonna do this, like warm right over here, like hot. Because it's really light in the bottom and then get really burning over here and then get cooler on the top like this. And I'm just gonna do this. So the whole thing like that. If I don't like it, I just do this smudge. How about the windows that I did before? It doesn't matter, guys. Doesn't matter, right? Overall first before the detail, basically. Look at that. You know what? I think it's easier for me just to draw everything in one layer. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put this one on the top. I'm gonna, oops, that one is on top of that. So I have to erase this. There you go. It's too many layers. Don't want to do too many layers. Just too much for me. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna make this one layer. It doesn't matter. There you go. Right. And then this one is basically park. Right. And then this one, just basically borrow it. There you go. There you go. Street that goes to left to right. So in the middle of this street is basically park, basically. sci-fi science fiction park, for example. This going this way, maybe like this. Oh, drawing assistant not on. There you go. Look at that. See? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't all matter. I want this building to be a little bit more red. Can I do that? Yep. Just do it. All right. And then I don't like the temperature, so I pick this. I want the bottom to be really, really hot, really, really low. So what do? I just do this one over here and airbrush. Maybe one more layer over here, just in case I messed up, right? And I just do this. So I want to make the floor to be really, really warm. Look at that. See? There you go. So street like that goes like that, and then just flatten this thing over here. Okay. So hopefully that's understandable, basically, for you guys. Because right now, from now on, I'm just, just do the detail now. Painting. And actually, this is a good time to ask me question, because right now I'm just like doing lab. So if you guys want to ask me question, this is the perfect time, because right now just.
So there was a question way earlier that I made sure that I would answer. I think it was Giovanni. He said that when you're showing pieces like this in your portfolio, better to show the finished work or the entire progression of the piece you started with and what you finished with?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good question. So it depends. If you're trying to, if your portfolio is actually matte painting, you might want to show the picture. I don't know if I have matte painting or not. Let me check. That's a really good question. Most of the time, the answer is going to be no. Don't show the original one, right? Whatever you do. But sometimes it's matte painting. Sometimes you have to remember this picture over here at the beginning. You probably what you want to do is just get rid of that car. That's it. You want to do everything else the same, but get rid of that car. So I'll show you something else. I think this is a good way to answer that question. This is the one that you guys haven't seen. So most of the time, if it's a completely different, like this one over here, you don't want to show the original at all, right? But if it's matte painting, like something like, geez, or there. Okay, I'm gonna get this one over here. Okay, so now this yeah, I'm just gonna show you. Okay, now this is matte painting. Basically, I keep the building. This is Union Square, San Francisco, but I make it like in the 40s, basically. Extend that building, basically up, right? So to show people in your portfolio that you can actually take this picture and you can actually change it to something else by adding something or completely changing the building. So if that's the case, you might want to show the picture, the actual picture. But by this time, it's basically illustration, right? So the original one is that one. Now, if your portfolio, here, I'm going to turn it upside down. This is the same picture, right? Turn it upside down. If your portfolio is completely different, see, this was right side up, right? But now I just turn it upside down, so it's looking down. See that window, I put Batman in the front, looking down. You don't need to show the original picture, basically. Basically, you want to show like, okay, you can do, basically, this is not photo bashing at all. This is basically borrowing the perspective of your picture, because there's not much of an original picture there, except the middle part of that building, basically. See, by the time I add this, you don't need to show your original picture. This you do, probably, if that's what you want to do, like a matte painting or something. But by the time over here, you don't. You're just like, why you want to show that, right? So adding that. See how many times you can actually do this? And then I change my mind again. I turn it upside down. It's the same perspective thing. See? There you go. And then even after this, right, I changed my mind again. Oh, actually, I did it one more time actually after that. But anyways, so hopefully that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, let me go back to the drawing. What else? Any other question? If not, so that's fine. I'm just going to paint. There you go.
All right. So as a general question,
Mhm.
what would you say is a good balance for using references? Like, for example, creating a comic page. Is it insane to use references for every single panel? Should references be used sparingly? I know sometimes the art community is seemingly frowned upon.
Yeah, got it. People look down on too much using references. It doesn't matter if it's a comic book. It's a little bit tricky because comic book, it's yeah, it's just a little bit different. I use references a lot, like a lot. The detail references, especially because I really don't know how to do car, don't know how to do building. But once I see a building, I see a car, I can change it, right? So I don't mind using references, but yeah, I don't look down at it. That's fine for me. But for production, it's okay to use a lot of references. Production is actually you do something that people not gonna see. Whatever the end result is gonna be, either the movie, either the but the concept, they're not gonna see it. So you can do whatever you want. You can actually take a picture. You can actually do because speed is really, really important. Yeah. So yeah, references is fine for me.
And Joko, here's another question from Morgan. She had said, can you just explain what the difference is in 1.2 point, 3 point perspective?
Okay. 1 point, 2 point, 3 point. So basically, this one is really difficult. This is 2 point vertical. So there's 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, and there is 2 point vertical, which is this one, and there's fisheye, which is 4 point and 5 point. So we're gonna do 1 point first. So we'll go to gallery. It's not that. Hopefully, it's not gonna be that long. Inking. Or are you inking? So inking, actually so much better if I can actually take a picture. But the thing is, my place is so messy. You know what? People not gonna care, right? You guys not gonna care. I'm gonna take a picture. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my iPad over here. I'm going to do this. Hopefully there is nothing bad in front. I have to check, guys. Sorry. So I'm gonna take a picture of my kitchen. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take a photo. I'm just gonna check for the last time. There's nothing bad there. Okay. Insert, take a photo. Now, can you guys see my kitchen?
We can see it perfectly.
Okay, awesome. Now, this is, I'm gonna try to do 1 point perspective. There you go. This is 1 point perspective. In 1 point perspective, whatever that refrigerator on the left and the wall on the right has to be really perpendicular against your edge of my iPad, right? So I cannot do this. That makes it looking down. I cannot look this. That makes it looking up. So in 1 point perspective, you have to be parallel with the room, and you cannot looking up. You cannot looking down. So it's kind of difficult. There you go. Oh, come on. There you go. That's 1 point perspective there. So there's a vanishing point right in front of me, right? Now, see that my burner there on the right, what is it? My stove goes to the middle vanishing point, right smack in the middle. the counter on the left goes to the right smack in the middle, right? The ceiling goes to the right smack in the middle. Now I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna turn it to this way. I cannot look down, I cannot look up. That's 2-point perspective. Now what happened is like this, that 1-point perspective, whatever that vanishing point outside the window, still there. That's 1 point, right? But when I do this, that vanishing point still there, becomes 2 point now. That vanishing point goes to the right side because the window goes to the right side. See, those counter goes to the right now. But then there's another vanishing point far, far away on the left. It's the same thing with this. This 1 point perspective, that's 2 point perspective. But now there's another vanishing point right far on the right, right? Okay, now 3 point is like this. This is 1 point. You guys good? This is 2 point, 3 point. All you need to do is just do this. Ooh, right? So the vanishing point still outside the window, right in the middle of that window outside, which is in the bottom right now. And there's going to be far vanishing point on the bottom left. But there's a vanishing point on the top above, far, far away. It's not inside the composition. It's not inside of the picture. It's far up. See, anything that goes up and down, the refrigerator, now it's going up. If I want to look down, you do the same thing. There you go. See, the right vanishing point still outside the window. The left vanishing point far above on the top left-hand corner, far, far away on the left, but there's a bottom vanishing point, right? So 2 point vertical is like this. This is 1 point, this is 2 point, this is 3 point, right? Or this 3 point. 2 point vertical, this one, and then you look down. So the vanishing point still outside the window, the top part of the window, right? The hole, the top hole, but there's anything that goes up and down goes to the bottom now, right? So that's the quickest way without the drawing. Hopefully that makes sense. Is there any more question about this? Let me see. Cancel. Sorry, you guys have to see my kitchen there. Gallery. Where is my pen?
Oscar asks, do you ever use 5-point perspective for your art?
Yeah, 5 point. I'm gonna show you a sample of 5 point. I'm not gonna draw it, okay, because it's gonna take a long time. But 5 point is like this.
And Jessica said she hopes that your arms are not too tired.
Oh, thank you. 5 point is like this. Imagine 5 point is basically 1 point perspective, but they're 1 point perspective, but there's here. I'm just gonna show you, okay? So I'm gonna show you this. That's 5 point, right? Okay, what does that mean? The vanishing point in the middle still goes to the middle. That's still straight. Anything that goes left to right instead of straight is going to be curved to the right. There's another vanishing point. So this is basically another vanishing point right over here, another vanishing point over here. So one in the middle, right 1, left 2. So the total is 3 vanishing point. See, the one that goes up is going to get smaller, right? 4, and goes down, going to get smaller, 5. So let me show you another sample. Maybe it's not too clear because there's so many lines over here. There you go. There, for example, like this, right? The middle vanishing point is still there, right? Okay, so I'm gonna put another line over here. Oh, here, I'm gonna turn this on. Make it normal instead of multiply. There you go, there you go, that's 5 point. So the middle vanishing point, that's 1 point perspective, but the width passing the middle is going to curve to the right. See, passing the middle to the left is going to curve to the left, goes up, curve to the top, goes down, curve to the bottom. So that's 5 point. So we studied that after 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 2 point vertical, and then we call this fisheye. What else? You guys have a question? Other question?
Is Drawing Assist able to help with a 5-point perspective?
No, unfortunately, no, except if you're using Clip Art Studio. Clip Art Studio, there is 5-point perspective, but it's really not hard, guys. All you need to do is do this, okay? 5-point perspective is so easy. Look at this. All you need to do, by the way, don't use the whole thing like this. You might want to zoom. You want to zoom like this. You don't want to use the whole globe because you don't know how to calculate the outside the circle. I don't know how to calculate the outside the circle, so we don't use it, right? So we're just going to use the inside. So knowing that, it's really, really easy. So I'm going to go this way, for example. There you go, right?
And I had a follow-up question too, but it was Odell.
Mhm.
Odell is going to be in your class next semester and said, is there any advice you would give or recommendations on how to prepare the next couple of weeks before class starts?
So is that for foundation perspective or advanced perspective? Which one, Odell? For the advanced one or for the beginning one?
Didn't say yet. I'm waiting for
Okay.
foundation.
Okay.
Foundation.
For foundation, okay. For foundation, you don't really have to do anything. If you want to play around with this program, that would be great. The stuff that I teach you guys is actually kind of not foundation. Foundation is slightly a little bit harder because foundation, I'll show you, okay? Foundation is more line approach. So foundation is more like, it's more like this. So instead of value, it's more line, which is way, 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 way harder, way harder. Why? Because you basically, after you got the composition, you start the same way, but then you have to, oh my God, you got to do this guy, you got to do that lady, you got to do this robot, you got to do that lady, you got to do the walls, so on and so forth. But when we paint, which is advanced perspective, it's actually easier class, but you have to take the foundation one first. Why? The theory is going to be in the foundation one. So yeah, so it's if I'm fast forwarding this, okay, I'm going to show you this. There. See, basically it's the same thing. I just make it silhouette. See, it takes a long time. Remember my my demo is way faster. Line drawing way time consuming. But once you get the composition, it's the same thing. You got the composition, you got the shape. All right. Sometimes it's hard for me to do line. I just make it silhouette first. I make the silhouette lighter and just outline that. It's way easier if you do things like that instead of jump to line. I just make a silhouette first. This one I got used to it because I already got one silhouette. I think I can do it. So see, it takes a long time. It's incredibly hard to do a line, but don't worry about it. It will help you. It's more mechanical in the foundation one. Once you be able to do the foundation one, when you go to the advanced one, which is not that hard, except way more work, way more assignment. See, it took a long time. And I'm gonna fast forward that. So the end result is like that. Now compare this to this one, okay? Now another assignment, once you do the one, that's 1 point line drawing. The next following week, you have to do 1 point line shadow. So I'm gonna show you the line shadow of that particular one. So I'm gonna use maybe, I don't know, this one over here, because see, it's so fast that I did 3, right? From that, I did literally like 1, 2, 3. Why? Because it's just so fast. Light and shadow is way faster than line drawing. So in theory, you do not have to go to line drawing. You can actually jump to the value like what we did before, right? Like my demo. So say, for example, this one over here, you can just fast forward it. Now, do you have to do line? Yeah, I'm afraid for foundation, you do. You have to do the hard stuff first before the easy stuff. Gray. Once you get that, see, it's so fast. I know I'm fast forwarding this, but way faster. Because once you get the value before the calculation of the cast shadow, right? Once you got the form shadow, which one is the focal point? Either light or shadow. This one, the focal point is actually light. It's way, 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 way faster. And if you think about it, you do not need to do the line drawing. You can just jump to the line shadow, basically. So like that. So there you go. The calculation is at the end for this little, that calculation is just for this little cast shadow over here. It's almost not worth it, right? To do. And then I'm gonna do save this one over here. That was light, right? This focal point is shadow. It's the same line drawing. The calculation, this one is actually shadow. See, it's the same, but this time is shadow. Before is light, this time is shadow. I copy her, cast her on the floor, basically after this. There you go, see? And then everything else is just painting, because you already have it, all right? So this is way easier than the line drawing. Okay, any other question, guys? Should I go back to that fisheye thing? It's up to you.
Yeah, I'd say we have about a half an hour. So if you want to do the fisheye, and then we can finish up the.
Okay. Okay.
Too, yeah.
So the fisheye is like this. So I'm going to use this one over here. So if you guys want to do fisheye, right? Just do 1 point fisheye. So this is 1 point fisheye. The vanishing point has to be right smack in the middle. So whatever you do, you cannot crop it like this. Cannot crop it like this. Why? Because this becomes 3 point fisheye. You have to do different grids. So there's 1 point fisheye, 2 point fisheye, 3 point fisheye, 2 point vertical fisheye. Can't do it like this, can't do it like this, can't do it like this. So you kind of stuck with this, right? Which is fine, right? So say you got this one over here, and then I'm going to turn this off. Yeah, there's nothing in the back. Okay, I'm going to turn this off. And then I'm going to put another layer right here. And in Photoshop, it's really, really easy. In Procreate too, but in Photoshop, it's really, really easy because you guys have Shift key. So it can make things straight up and down, left and right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just do inking this time, not painting. Inking. There you go. Inking. And then I'm gonna use different colors so you guys can actually see. I'm gonna use gray over here. So I'm going to turn on the drawing assist, but this time I'm going to make it 2D. Drawing assist, edit drawing guide, make it 2D, done, and then turn it off so we don't have to see it. All right, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to make the back side of the room. Ooh, that's really neon. There you go. Now, remember, okay, in 1 point, your vanishing point has to be in the middle. Whatever dot has to be in the middle, 1 point perspective. But you don't have to be in the middle of the room. So you guys can actually do this. So the vanishing point in the middle of your composition, but you do not have to be in the middle of the room. That's it. So you take this, maybe like that. Now, I'm going to put my eye level as my horizon line. So just remember like this, I'm going to do another theory on the top. If you have somebody right over here, okay? If you have somebody right over here, imagine this is beautiful drawing, okay? If that person coming towards you, not sitting down, not lying down, just the same plane, the head is going to be passing the horizon line. Even it's really, really close. It's the same thing. The head is going to be passing the horizon line. See how easy that is? Well, people have different heights, right? But if there are clones, their head's going to be passing the horizon line. So knowing that, I'm going to do this. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this, delete. I'm going to put the head passing the horizon so I know the door size is going to be like that. I'm pretty short. So there, right? So that's the door, right? And then maybe this is like a classical place over here. So I'm going to do like this. Maybe there's molding right over here. I should just draw through over here. That's okay. There you go, goes this way. So I'm making this room, and then there's molding that passing this, and picture rail right over here, and there's a big molding right on the top. Same, right? And then there's a bunch of paintings over here. One painting over here, painting over here, painting over here, so on and so forth. Just like maybe vertical paintings over here. And then this is a frame of that door. Okay, now this is not fisheye. I have to put in a fisheye. Now in fisheye, the middle vanishing point is still straight, but everything else, the width is going to curve, the height is going to curve, right? So I'm going to do this one a little bit better. I'm going to put like a little bit bead boards over here. There you go. So I got this one, and maybe beadboard on the top. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna do beadboard on the top. So once you get this, right? How do I curve it, right? Okay, I got this back wall. How do I curve it? I turn on that fisheye. The fisheye is like that. I'm gonna make this one a little bit lighter. All right, now the first thing that you guys gonna do, okay? You distorted this guy over here, you distort it. So how do you do that? I'm gonna go closer. Okay, there's free transform, see the bottom left, okay? Free transform, uniform, distort, warp. Actually free transform first, not distort. And then you do this, okay? See the dot of the grid, see the bottom corner. I'm gonna just circle it because you guys cannot see my cursor here. So what you wanna do, you wanna do this. This corner over here, right? You wanna match it. See, there's this curve. So it's gonna be a little bit high. It's gonna be going that way. And this top, the curve is gonna be a little bit low over here, gonna go that way. Okay, so that's a little bit hard to see. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do this. First thing that you wanna do, take this and follow that grid. Let me follow that grid and then sorry guys. Let me hold it and there you go. There you go. And follow the same grid. The same grid. I know it's curved, but just follow the same grid. Actually, I have to make it a little bit lower. That's not the grid. I'm gonna put. There you go. All right. And then I follow that grid. It's not that one. This is gonna go up. So free transform first like that. So don't curve it yet. You do that one first. So hopefully that's understandable. Now up and down is pretty much in the same grid. So I'm good because it's right smack in the middle. And don't set this up. All you need to do, you warp, right? You warp, and then you pull this one up. Until matching the grid, and that's it. And you pull this one down until matching the grid. That's it. I pull this one to the left, not too much. The problem with fisheye is too much fisheye. You don't want to make it too much fisheye. Just follow the grid. See, it's really, really subtle. That's it. That's it. Now, once you do this, you set it up. Is this done? No, no, no. The depth always straight. So the width curve, the height curves, right? But the depth is always going to be straight. What does that mean? This is, oops. Go back to drawing assist, edit drawing guide, go back to the perspective, done. The middle still straight. So that's the common mistake for fisheye, especially 1-point fisheye. They curve this depth. No, no, no. The depth still straight, straight, straight. The height curve, the width curve, but the depth is straight. See, the vanishing point, the red and the blue has to be in the middle, but you do not have to be in the middle of the room. That's 1-point perspective. 1-point perspective fisheye. Okay, so if you guys have more questions, ask me. I'm gonna go back to the drawing again. Let me see, where is it? Photo bashing, there you go. This one. Okay, so where were we? Look at that, even from here, you can actually see what's going on already, although it's not done, right? So I got about, what, 20 minutes?
Yeah, it's 8:40, but you know, we'll make it work.
Okay. But even if it's not finished, I think you guys understand, right? It's not that. Right now, I'm just like doing the details, so on and so forth. And after that, make sure you stop me like 10 minutes before it's over because I have to show you guys more samples. But basically, this is it, guys. Now it's just painting. At least you know how to start now. You know how to do it now. Now I'm just gonna just pick color, pick stuff. I'm gonna use this drawing assist, and then I'm gonna turn this on just in case. Move it this. Oops, There you go. Move it right over here. And then there you go. And the top is actually getting darker. You know what? I'm going to use this one over here. Really, really dark. And then this is, goes to the vanishing point. And this one goes there.
Joko, do you recommend any third-party brushes that can extend into Procreate?
I do have them actually. It's pretty cool, but I rarely use it. But it's really, really cool. Especially, actually, my student gave me this. It's really, really cool stuff. Especially, I have a little illustration that I have to do rain. You know, it's terrible to do rain, right? It's just like, I don't know how to do rain. Well, you can just use rain there. As long as you put that rain in perspective, it's actually going to be good, right? See, you can. It's pretty cool. Yeah, but I rarely use it, especially for building. I just use the basic. Maybe element. I use clouds for smog. I use that. But you can use it, but I just really use it except when I just want to do rain or something like that. That's a good question. Delete clipping mask. Clipping mask. So anything that I do is gonna stay there. Okay. Painting. Yeah, go ahead, guys. Okay, if you guys have questions, because right now I'm just gonna just paint. And again, it's not gonna finish, but that's the idea is actually it doesn't really matter. Really, it doesn't really matter.
Joko, do you have a website or a social media where you post your professional work?
Actually, I do. If you guys go to Instagram, just type my name, Joko Budionio. Most of those work is actually traditional. I do perspective like this with a ballpoint pen. You might want to look at that. But yeah, I in Instagram, it's really, really cool because I can just do whatever I want. And my tendency, I just do like superhero, but it's in traditional. So it's kind of cool. You just type my name, Joko Budionio, and you'll see it. I can open Instagram over here, but the problem is it's going to be side view because the format in iPad is going to be like sideways. So you guys are going to get confused. Look at that. So loss is good. You don't have to make things found all the time. Actually, sometimes I just airbrush the top. So right now it doesn't look good. I want to make the top a little bit darker. So I'm just going to airbrush the top. Or are you airbrush? See, once I go to the detail, I just remind myself, don't go to the detail, do overall. And yeah, that's it. Drawing assist off, and then this. See? It's dark on the top. Why do I darken the top where the reference is light? Because the lighting, I'm gonna change it. I want the bottom to be the hottest one. Because it's clipping mask, see, it's only affecting this guy over here in the bottom. So I'm okay. So I just make the top really dark. I might want to go this way and then painting. There you go. Fill that up, and then. And go ahead, ask me a question if you guys want, okay? Because I'm just going to do this stuff over here. Assist. Sometimes what I do, sometimes I use lasso also. It's yeah, sometimes.
Joko, any advice for working on comics?
Any advice working on comic? Okay. Any advice working on comic? For comic, let me show you comic. I don't have my old comic. I have just playing around, but not my comic because it's my computer got stolen, so everything's gone. It's okay. That's how the good thing about going on with your life is like that. Just get your artwork got stolen, so you can actually restart. See? So that's not the finished one. Where is the finished one? There you go. So if you can actually do there's don't break the axis and so on and so forth. Basically, you're gonna study that later on when you take a comic class. But gutter is actually space in between the panels, right? When you start doing comic, your tendency to do something like this, your tendency to do something like it's gonna do 11 by 17. Where are you, 11 by 17? There you go, 11 by 7. Your tendency to do this, where you got first panel like this, you got second panel over here, third panel over here, fourth panel over here. And it's not your fault, you're new. This is terrible. Why? Because you got this space, this gutter, and it's not doing anything, especially when it's, and sometimes it's actually, when it's actually really, really bad, like black, like all of those actually black, all people see is actually these white boxes, not even inside of your composition, not inside of the panel, but it's just the boxes. So that's really, really bad. And sometimes you can't help it, you're new, right? So what you want to do, how about this? Say, for example, this is panel number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. You can do this. You can actually just say number 5, you want to make it to be the biggest. All right. So all you need to do, it can be number 1, it can be number 2, whatever it is, right? You can actually do this. You just erase this panel and make number 5 behind everything else. So basically, you take all of this. You can do something like this. For example, like really, really small, really, really on the top over here. I'm going to separate a little bit better. Lasso. So you don't really have to deal with gutter. The gutter is a little bit hard to manage. So, and then what is this? This is number 5 behind. This is number 5 behind, see? So you take this one, maybe number 3, you make it a little bit like that, for example. So you don't have to deal with the gutter, right? White space or black space. So this is what I did over here. So basically I make panel number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, panel number 5 to be the gutter, the biggest one. So I don't have this white space in between, so I can deal with it, right? So I think that's it. Later on, there's don't break the axis, don't break the direction, so on and so forth. But that's probably the stuff that rare, right? Not to, sometimes like this, see? Just the last panel to be the gutter of everything. So you don't have to deal with the gutter. You can tell it's amateurish, not because of the artwork, but because of the layout. See, this one, this is really cool because this is what she did over here. This is like Bob's Burger comic, basically. So this is panel number 1, basically the street, 1-point perspective. Panel number 2 is 3-point looking up of Bob's Burger's sign, right? And panel number 3, now look at this. Panel number 2 is actually under panel number 2 is actually under panel number 1. Number 1, see, you don't have to make a gutter in between. You can actually put one panel on top of another, so you don't have to deal with a gutter. And then panel number 3 is the biggest, and then the last one like that, for example. Oh, by the way, this should be like an oops, cancel. This should be. I just like show it to her like I'll blow it up and shrink it down, but basically this should be like continue until, sorry, where are you? There you go, until here, over here. Goes this way, and this is 4, 4, 4. Anyhow, and then if you want to continue this, that's fine. If we want to cut it, that's fine. So that's a comic usually that you can actually tell it's actually kind of lacking. But other than that, this is my student's comic over here. One, this is really, really cool. Look at that, see? That's establishing shot. See, you don't have to deal with the gutter if something underneath it, right? You don't want to cover something important, but you don't really have to put gutter, white space or black space. Look at that. Establishing shot, showing her look at her watch, showing the environment over here. So panel number 4 is the biggest one. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. And then on top of that, panel number 4, panel number 5. See? So you don't have to separate it. You can actually do that. It's really cool. And then this is her finish. So cool. Really, really awesome. Look at that. That's awesome comic, right? Just the first page, not the whole comic. You guys, any other question? Let me see. Where are you? Photo bashing. So how long do we have, Hector?
8 minutes, but we'll
8 minutes?
Yeah, we'll buy a little time. Some other questions are like advice on character perspective.
Oh, you guys, that's good that you guys asked me about that. That's really, really good. Now there's 2 ways to do that. It's a good thing you asked me about this, because if we're running out of time, that's too bad, right? Now, character in perspective. Whatever you do, don't do this in your figure drawing class. But in perspective class, you can do this, okay? In figure drawing class, do not do this. That would be cheating. You're gonna get kicked out of any school, so don't do this. But in perspective, now figure drawing is really difficult. Figure drawing in perspective is crazy difficult, right? So what do? Yeah, you can actually make a box, put it in perspective for shortening, yes. But if it's perspective class, it's not figure drawing class, okay? If it's perspective class, you do not have to do that. In perspective class, 60% minimum has to be the background anyway, not the organic. So you can actually put Hulk, Spider-Man, whatever it is, Groot, 40% maximum, that's including the sky, right? So the human-made object, like the architectural, street, furniture, anything that cube, cylinder, pyramid has to be at least 60% or more, right? Now, the rest of them, the organic, sky, nature has to be 40% or less. Now, knowing that, in perspective class, because you can do that, whatever the figure, you do not have to draw them. You can, but in my class, you do not, okay? If you do not want to draw, that's fine, because it's going to be less than 40% anyway, right? Why? Because you don't have to, because you have a program, right? Now, the problem with Maya is going to take a long time. You don't want to do this in Maya. It's going to take a long time. This is really fast, actually. This drawing, this painting is really, really fast. Now, how do I start? I start with this. So I'm going to show you the program. Now, in Procreate, there's this. Art Post Pro, right? You guys can see this? Hector?
So Joko,
Hello?
you might want to do what we did earlier in the test run and just go out of it a little bit. We just see the Procreate icon right now.
Oh, sure. I'm sorry.
Sorry,
No,
my mute was on.
Okay, that's fine. Can you see it again?
Yeah, I see in the background. Yeah, we see it now.
Okay, you see it. Okay. So this is Art Post Pro. So you can actually change. So the good thing about this, see the floor, there's that checker, that's X-axis, that's Y-axis, that's left vanishing point, that's right vanishing point. That's it. This is looking down over here, left vanishing point, right vanishing point, this is 2 point, and this is 1 point basically, right? Now, I need the Z-axis, I need the height. I cannot use the body. Oh, by the way, if I don't like this, right, this pose, you can actually just change it to male, female, it doesn't all matter. Change the body to do something. If you don't like this one over here, you can just change the pose by, whatever. This one, so on, so. Anyways, right? I'm gonna tilt this one over here, make this one going up. I have no idea, it's up to you. And then make her with hair, maybe like that. And then the lighting, this is the camera, and I can actually change the lighting too, right? So in figure drawing, don't do this, but in perspective class, yeah, that's fine. Do this because you have to do maximum 40% anyway. You still have to do the rest, right? Now, to match the figure with the environment, see that grid? You need that grid. Now, what you guys want to do, you do this, okay? So anything that have heights. So I'm going to use this pillar over here. See the bottom? That's the z-axis, right? So I got x-axis, right vanishing point. I got y-axis, left vanishing point, and I got z-axis, the bottom vanishing point. Once I got this, I'm good, right? And then all I need to do, right? I just figure out the perspective. I don't want to make it
Hi,
too.
Joko.
Yeah.
Is there supposed to be
ahead.
more that we're supposed to see on the screen right now besides the man and the? Is there drawings on it? Because the student or the attendees with us right now, so they're not seeing anything else. It's just that I don't know if you're drawing on top of it right now. I just see the guy. And
Oh, no, you just see it, but you can actually see the person turning, right?
No.
No, he post.
Oh, maybe you just, sorry. Maybe it just frozen again. How about now?
Yeah.
Oh, it's frozen again, huh? Because I'm moving it and you guys can't see it in over here. Oh, I get what you're saying. So how about this, okay? I think it's keep on, you guys can see that. You guys can see that. I'm gonna try to move this. I think the memory is just so much now. Okay, so I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna just show you the picture, okay? Because if we do this, it looks like it's actually frozen. So you can actually change the angle of the person, and I'm just gonna jump to this one. Okay, so the initial one is this. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. So the initial one is this. I'm gonna just play this, and I'm gonna try to pause it at the beginning. There, okay. So the initial one is like, come on, there you go. There you go. So see, so the initial one is like that file. So that file over here. Now there's two layers. One layer is a cut like this, and the other layer is the whole thing. So I have the floor. So I can match that perspective for the floor using drawing assist. So I got the environment. So figure in environment is no problem whatsoever because you got it now, right? I'm gonna fast forward it. Because it's Hulk, I just shrink the head. I just begin to paint, basically. You guys can still see it, right? Yeah, you guys can still. There you go. Now, how do I do Hulk? I just look at references of Hulks. Basically, I don't do split screen. This time I have laptop and I have my iPad next to each other. There you go, change it to green. Right? And that's it. So figure is not a problem anymore, right? Again, don't use it in figure drawing. Don't use it in the perspective class that wants you to do perspective, wants you to do figure and perspective. My class is not figure and perspective. There's actually one class that wants you to draw figure and perspective. Don't use it. That would be cheating, right? Look at that. See? I turn on the drawing assist and that's it. That's it. See, just like my painting, it's just a mess. That's references in the bottom right. And I just continue. There, see? Now do I zoom in? No, do not zoom in. Whatever you do, don't zoom in. So even if I'm running out of time, I think you guys understand this. I think you're okay. I think I'm running out of time actually. It's already 9, but that's fine, right? Because I'm teaching you guys something. There you go. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, okay? A little bit. There you go. A little bit. And put Spider-Man. Same thing. So how do I change the color? How about the lighting? The lighting is already there. Already there. All right. Fast forward this. See, now trust me, if I zoom in, okay, I'm zooming to one of the building. It's not looking good whatsoever. Okay, it's not looking good. It doesn't matter. That's the idea. You have to look at it from far away. Overall, it's important. If you have time, you spend more time, you finish things, right? But right now, it's just the whole thing first. So my demo with you guys is the beginning, really, really beginning. And then do more, and that's it. And then fast forward this one a little bit more. So hopefully that answered the figure and perspective, but don't do this if you're doing perspective class, figure and perspective, that the teacher wants you to put it figure and perspective, right? You don't want to use this because that's basically cheating. In my class, it's not cheating because the figure is not the assignment. The figure is actually, oh, sorry, the whole thing, okay? So trust me, look at that. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. Look at that. So that's figure and perspective. So in theory, you guys can actually do this. I actually set it up for you guys, but we're running out of time. There you go. I took a picture of that. See, I can actually say that he's like a warrior coming inside of the building, right? So I got the axis, left and right. I got left vanishing point, right vanishing point to match that floor. And I got the height. Once you get that, you lock it. You can, the calculation of the shadowing is already there. All you need to do is just paint the background. You can change it to whatever you want. See, you can actually do it like that. So this is way more advanced. So you can actually combine 2D and 3D. I don't recommend you to do Maya because it's going to take a long time. Maya going to take a long time. This is going to be way fast. Yeah, guys, so that's about it. You know what? Rather than continue, I'm going to show you just a little bit of this. And then I'm just going to close it with showing different things because, you know, this is basically is there. You just have to paint now. Look at references, put the light on the bottom. You can put Batman flying, it doesn't really matter. So basically, this is the basic things. It's so fast, right? And then I'm going to show you this. Let me see. How about this? So the picture is basically Balinese temple in Jakarta. I went to Jakarta and take a picture of Balinese temple. I look down, I take a picture, And then, you know what? I'm going to do something. I'm going to look up, right? So if the assignment is not matte painting, I can change it to whatever, right? So look up like that. Now it's not looking down, looking up. You can do whatever you want, okay? Time lapse. There, I just color pick, lock the perspective. The perspective is there. You want to expand it? Expand it. See, you just make a hole, right? And then I just change my mind. You know what? I'm going to do sci-fi. I'm going to put a robot over there. Put references and then see, it's the same thing. So basically I stopped doing demo right about now, right? Because we're running out of time. A question is great. I love that question. So I'd rather answering question rather than continue demoing. There you go. See? Just look at references and that's it, guys. That's it. You don't have to figure out the perspective. The perspective is already there. Now it's sci-fi, right? And it's going to go back to the original picture and we're going to compare the background over there. Cast goes over there. It's too yellow over there. Make it a little bit desaturated. That's too much. There you go. So see the original's over there, right? And the end result is like that, right? It's completely different. So what do? I just borrow it. The original is just that brick, a little bit brick in the middle right there. Just a little bit. But the rest of them completely different. See? So it's easier than you think. It's easier than you think. Once you understand the perspective, how to do it, it's easier than you think. This is building an academy of art. Basically, I go to the floor, I take a picture, I look up. See, you guys can actually use it like this or use it like this. Right? This is 3-point because there's a, see the horizon is slow. There's another vanishing point on the top, really, really far. So what I did, I turned it upside down. And then, there you go. That's it. Just expand it first. Try to find the composition. That's just a lecture. I'm sorry about this. Class lecture is recorded. There you go. So that's the, oh, wait, this is not it. Sorry, guys. Where is the file? Let me see. There you go. This is the file. Come on. So I'm going to play it. Fast forward until class. There you go. So the same thing, right? So basically I redo it because I was teaching. There you go. I darken it. See, the ceiling becomes the floor now. I'm looking down slightly. See, I'm doing the same thing, exact same thing. I don't even know what I was going to do. I already got the perspective. I changed the color, right? I changed the background. Look at that. So I just borrowed the perspective. There, I know the focal point is going to be that robot over there. Find references internet. Find reference internet. And just, I drop it. And sometimes I turn the references upside down because I don't want to copy it. I just turn it upside down. So there you go. See, trust me, okay? If you go closer, it doesn't look good. Look at that. It doesn't look good whatsoever. That's not the point, right? You just have to be detached, actually. Just look at it from far away. Don't do the detail. Look at it from far away. Shrink it down. See the whole composition from far away. That's it. There you go. See, now it's just the fun part. Look at scientists. There you go. I just, I drop it, that references, and I got the scientists over there. See, so once you zoom in, it's not good. You don't want to zoom in. So almost there, and after that, we'll end this, except if you guys have question or something, okay? So we'll see this one over here. So this is in Warner Brothers Studio. And I took some pictures of it in Warner Brothers Studio, and then I extended a little bit because I don't want to deal with 3-point. So I'm extend it a bit on the bottom, so the one that goes up and down. Because see, it's angled a little bit. There's a vanishing point on the top, right? So basically, I extend it on the bottom, so it's just regular 2-point. Then, okay, expand it, and then I make another floor. So instead of erasing the top, that top is really cool, right? I don't want to repaint that. It's hard. I just repaint the bottom. Add the bottom. Make the street lower. See, you guys can actually do that instead of this first floor now. Now it's actually second floor. The top is already there. See? So eyedrop is really, really cool. I use it a lot, actually. There you go. Make it dark. I layer it, like separate the layer, and begin to paint. Okay. So remember, okay, the original is only the top floor. That's it. The rest of them is painted like fresh paint. You're just borrowing the perspective, and that's it. References, that's it. There you go. I'm gonna fast forward just a little bit, just a little bit. So if you guys understand the perspective art, great. This is powerful tools. Once you set up that perspective grid, you just expand it. Look at that. That's the original. That's the final. See, I just kept the top and the perspective. See, the first floor becomes the second floor, basically. And that's it. All right, almost there, guys. And we're going to look at I think that's it. Yeah, we saw everything. Yeah. Any question? If there's no question,
well, I feel like we're pretty much out of time. I know one that just came in, iPad equipment add-ons. Are there any iPad equipment add-ons you would suggest?
So for figure, for figure is Art Post Pro is pretty good. For the for the iPad, for the perspective is Procreate definitely, but that's it. I just use that. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. You don't have to get new brushes. The brushes that they have is actually good. Paint with Nico Rule. Sometimes I use Element, which is cloud or smoke. But that's about it. That's about it. I can actually, yeah, is there any more question? While I'm waiting for your question, I'm gonna just show you a bunch of artwork over here. Eye candy.
Joko, the students are asking if it's okay for them to contact you on your Instagram.
Yes, you can. I'm rarely there, but you can. But just wait for me like about 2 weeks, and sometimes I go to Instagram after 2 weeks. It's the same thing with Facebook. I just go there like once a month. But once you guys, Jonathan is basically my former student there out there. He's a really good artist. Hopefully he's watching this thing. Basically, just message me there and I'll answer you there. But you guys have to wait maybe like a week or two. If you take a class with me, it's really easy. Just go to the email that the Academy provide, and then I answer it every day. But Instagram, maybe once a week. I'll try to do it once a week. How about that? From now on. So yeah, what else? I'm just gonna show you this while we're talking, okay?
When smudging, do you turn off the drawing assistant?
I do. No, I don't. The good thing about smudging, when I turn on the drawing assist, that window is still following the drawing assist. Hopefully there's something like that over here when I'm doing the window of this Catwoman running. For this one, by the way, guys, this one I'm not using picture. Once you do this all the time, you can actually set up yourself. You don't need picture. The good thing about picture, you can actually do like photo bash, matte painting, so on and so forth. Oh yeah, Jonathan. Thanks, Jonathan. So I just see the message from him. So there, see, sometimes I do something. There you go. I just smudge it. I messed up. I just smudge it. When I smudge it, I use the drawing assist. So the smudge is straight, going to the same vanishing point, basically. So window, there you go. So when I'm painting her, I turn off the drawing assist. Right. There, see? So the window, trust me, okay, if I go close, that doesn't look like a window. It looks abstract, right? That's the point. You do not want to put the window handle. You don't want to paint one window at a time. You don't want to do that. You just want to do the whole row window, erase the whole row in between the window, and that's it. It's just impression of windows, and that's it. See, I'm going to show you this window. Okay, look at this. Just erase in between the light, between the there. That's it. It's window. Erase in between, and that's it. There you go.
And hey, Joko.
Yes, sir.
Hey, but I think that we're gonna run out of time here, and
okay.
Make sure the students kind of contact us, and for all you students that are out there, I know that there's going to be a ton of questions.
Mm-hmm.
The thing to know is that we are just trying to do as much as we can in a little workshop, but obviously Joko is one of our instructors here at the university, and we cover this type of content over the course of an entire semester, and it continues to build over the course of 4 years of college. So there's so much to learn, and if any of this went by you, it's totally okay. We just want to give you all a sample. I think that one of the things too to take away is that, I saw a lot of people talking about inspiration, references, different things of that nature. I would tell you that, especially at our school, we encourage you to be creative, and we encourage you to be original and come up with your own ideas. But, there's really nothing wrong with using references. And I put it in the chat, but in my opinion, sometimes just looking through references, like I even noticed when Joko was looking at things, it's not always as if you're stealing something, but sometimes it helps put you on track for that next idea for you to unlock what you see and what you want to do with your artwork. So I would, as long as you're doing something you're passionate about and you're enjoying it, there's really nothing, there's no wrong answer. Everybody's style is going to develop, everybody's technique, what works for them. And I do these workshops every Tuesday, and they're always different, you know, different topics, different theories, but I hear similar questions like, how do you get inspired? How do you get inspired? And so the common thing that I see with a lot of our faculty or even students is that they're they're inspired because they're really passionate about what they're doing. And then whatever it is that you're taking to reference, whatever it is that's getting you going in the morning, that's what I would tell you is there's no wrong answer with whatever's going to inspire the artist. Like, use everything you have and put everything you have into your work. That's probably the best advice I can give all of you out there. Would you agree, Joko?
Yeah, so I think I know what's the question probably is going to be. It's like most of the time that your job is going to be is actually you're going to be given a script, and most of the time you're not going to do your own work. So sometimes you're going to have a work that, okay, this time you have to do Spider-Man comic, you have to do Spider-Man. So if you're working for your own subject matter, your own story, yeah, you can do whatever you guys, whatever you want, guys. That's fine. But most of the time, you cannot change the script. So sometimes you be given a script. Okay, you have to draw Spider-Man in Tokyo. What do you do? So you have to find references of that. But whatever you do, you cannot do this. Okay, you cannot go to internet, take a copy the internet picture and paste it, not changing a thing. You cannot do that. You have to change something, but you need references no matter what, because the job that you're gonna get is actually, you have to follow something. In fine art, yes, you can actually pick the subject matter that you want, painting this, painting that. But animation, illustration, concept art, the stuff that we're doing comic book, you're following a script. So you have to be able to follow direction. That's really important. So in order to do that, you cannot recreate your own things. If you have a style, that's fine. If they want you for your styles, that's fine. But you need references. I'm not saying to copy the references. You need references. So you change that references, you do whatever. So try to think about it like that. It's cheating is like this. Cheating is actually take somebody else's artwork and make it your own, change it a little bit. No, we're not doing that. We can actually get inspiration from the color of somebody, but don't paint the same thing. You want this town, but that architectural, but that temperature, that's fine. But you still have to follow, has to be Tokyo. You cannot go to Europe, right? You don't want to find references of Europe. But I think that's what you guys thinking about. I'm not saying to copy references, but you do need references because most of the time, it's not your own project. It's actually somebody else's project, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think a reference, if you take the word literally, use it as a reference, it's better used that way in a literal form than thinking of copy, you know?
Yeah.
So, hey, so Joko, so as we're wrapping up, there was a lot of thank yous in the chat, but if you all want to take the time to send them a big thank you really quickly in the chat, for those of you that are hanging on, trust me, this won't be the last time that we get together. I mean, we're doing these things every week, but anybody want to send a big thank you to Joko? We put his Instagram in the thread as well, so feel free to follow him and check out some of his artwork on there. I know I was spying on it a little earlier as well. And as we wrap up, to the thing that I wanted to just let everybody know is, if you're a student or you're a prospective student, if you're thinking about going to school, if you're kind of like, you know, in the middle, I don't really know what I want to do. So what I do is I run admissions for the university. That's all schools. That's whether you're an undergraduate student, a graduate student, international, domestic, it doesn't matter. We have a team of people, and what they do is they'll sit down and work with you one-on-one. Their goal is to really just to have more of a casual conversation about what your goals are, what it is that you're into. There's so many different things you can do with art. So we have so many different majors, and what we want to do is try to put you on track to do something that you're going to be passionate about. So if any of you are out there and you're interested in at least just starting the process, I can tell you the way that this works is that we generally start off with having a one-on-one, and the one-on-one is really just to have that casual conversation about what it is that you see yourself doing. So if you can, send me an email directly. There's no bad questions. If any of you just want to talk, if any of you just want to get started. Todd, no, 40 is not too old. I'm almost 40 myself, but no, it's definitely not too old. I mean, I say it this way because I've been doing this for a long time, but we have seniors coming out of high school and we have senior citizens in school here. So I've actually seen students in their 70s start a new career or something they're passionate about, believe it or not. There's so many different age groups. So the school is super diverse. So by all means, what you'll see is it doesn't matter if you're undergraduate or a graduate student. Tons of people are just getting started at different ages because they're like, I've been there, done that. I see all the time people that have been working in different careers for a long time that just say, I'm ready to do something that I'm really passionate about, and it's time for me to follow my goals and my dreams. Or I've seen people that have kids and they wait till they grow up or whatever it is. Yeah, Brian says he's enrolled and he's 49, so you have a teammate right there. So anyway, last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this in one more time, but I would just ask you, please, if you're interested in looking into the school, just send me an email. We'll start a conversation. We'll set up a time to talk. The next thing is if anybody out there is in high school, if you're currently in high school, you are the class of 2021, 2022, 2023, we have a pre-college art experience program. You can check that thing out. Just click on the link. It'll get you the information, but you can actually take pre-college courses with us if you're currently in high school for free. So it's a really good way to just learn and get some knowledge and get ahead if you're interested in that. If anybody here is interested in applying to the university, you can go ahead and do an application here as well. Here's the link for that. Now, there's a lot of information that I would need to cover, but for right now, just to keep it simple, send me an email. Let's try to just connect so that we can talk. But myself and my team will help you with information about financial aid, scholarship information, how to build a portfolio, how to transfer in units, if you should get into a master's program, whether that be an MA or an MFA, if you should get an AA, a BFA, it just depends on your situation. So there's a lot of questions for us to ask and a lot of information to help you out with in order to make a good recommendation. So lack of a better analogy, we want to inspect everything before we write you a prescription. So we want to make sure that we know what's going on with you. So anyway, I want to go ahead and just take the time one more time to thank all the behind the scenes people too as we're wrapping up. So Mr. John Beeson behind the scenes, he's always helping to coordinate these events with our marketing. We have, that's probably, so we have Wakana out there. We have William helping us put these events on. We have Mr. Tim out there helping us with our YouTube. We have the one and only Kathleen who organizes all of this stuff for us on Zoom. So thank you as always for being here. She's my right-hand lady every single Tuesday and Thursday. And then obviously the star of the show tonight, Mr. Joko, thank you so much for taking the time to show us your work, teach us some stuff. I was excited, man. I love the artwork and your style and the way you see things. I'm a little slow, but you see things 10 times faster than I do. But I know that that's what you're passionate about, and that's a lot of practice and a lot of dedication to get to that level. So thank you all for the time tonight. Without further ado, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and sign off and just tell you all be safe out there. Keep drawing, keep practicing. I know this is going to be, you know, we're all indoors right now, so make the most of it. Get that practice in. And please don't be shy to send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. Love to see some of your work and see what we can do to try to point you in the right direction. So have a great night, everybody. Enjoy, okay? Take care, guys. Thanks, Joko.